Hidden deep in Tonto National Forest, this off-road gem flies under the radar. Remote, rugged, and beautiful, this trail is hard to find. Few have explored, but it's packed with challenge and stunning views of fire-damaged saguaros. With rocky climbs, steep descents, and tight turns, this trail is off-roading at its best. Join us as we take on this largely unknown trail and see what makes it special. As a bonus, we have a great blooper for you at the end of the video that you don't want to miss. Now it's time to air down and get rolling.
Our journey began at Needle Rock Recreation Area, about an hour northeast of Phoenix. Needle Rock is located on the beautiful Verde River. On our way out of the parking lot, we checked out this very interesting rock formation. As you leave the parking lot, you enter Camp Creek Wash, which is Forest Road 413. Please note that you need a permit for this area, which you can obtain at recreation.gov by searching Tonto OHV permit. There are 3 total segments in this trail, and I have included in the community tab a map of these 3 segments. You will turn off Forest Road 413, Camp Creek Wash, onto an unnamed segment, which is the prettiest portion of this trail. You will then merge into 388, which is a trail connector, which will take you to the end, which is at Bartlett Dam Road. You can also follow the trail on Onyx Off-Road, and I explain that in the community tab. Camp Creek Wash by itself is much more interesting than just a bunch of sand. As I hope you can tell from the video, there are some very nice canyon walls and very interesting vegetation. One other interesting aspect of Camp Creek Wash is that there are a number of side canyons that, while not drivable, certainly appear to be hikeable. On one of these side canyons, I took my POV drone, which is a DJI Avata 2. I always find flying the Avata 2 to be very exciting. I'm still learning how to fly the Avata 2, and I make a lot of mistakes. If you're interested in seeing a particularly spectacular one, check out the blooper at the end of the video. We spiced up our trip through the wash by staying out of the center of the wash as much as possible, and we stayed toward the side, toward the canyon side, where we found a number of off-camber sections, large rocks, and we often got very tippy, which we like quite a bit. However, one thing we don't really like is to get pinstriped. And if you're going to ride this trail, you're going to get pinstriped. You're going to get it in the wash, and you're going to get it on the other sections. So again, a reason to avoid this trail may be you do not like Arizona pinstriping, because you're going to hear a lot of it, a lot of scraping on the sides of your vehicle. And if that bugs you, don't do the trail. Getting out of the wash and onto the next segment of the trail requires careful navigation. The turn right that you must make is not signed, and we could not find a name or designation for this segment. You need to pass by Road 404, which is not a Jeep-friendly trail. It is too narrow. If you go to 388, you have gone too far. Although that is a trail you can take, it is much easier. We've done it before. It's a nice trail. After you turn right, the character of the trail changes significantly, becoming much more narrow and single track. This is the prettiest part of this entire trail, this second segment, and it will take you through the burn area of the Wildcat Fire, which burned approximately 14,400 acres in May and June of 2024, which is the equivalent of more than 10,000 football fields. Fran and I love the saguaro cactus, and being around saguaros is one of the reasons we chose to move to southern Arizona. Saguaros can grow up to 40 feet tall and weigh over 4,000 pounds when fully hydrated. They can live between 150 and 200 years. They often grow multiple arms, but some remain unbranched. The arms help with water storage and also with balance. When a saguaro is fully hydrated, it can hold up to 200 gallons of water. We were mesmerized and also saddened by what we saw on this portion of the trail. The yellow saguaros were heat stressed by the fire. Some of them were barely yellow, some were extremely yellow, and as you can see, some were toppled and killed by the fire. Whether these saguaros that are just somewhat yellow or very yellow will survive is an open question. We certainly hope that they do. They just represent strength and beauty to us, and we just hated to see how much damage had been done to them. It took over 300 firefighters, men and women, to combat this blaze. Additional resources such as helicopters and air tankers were used to fight the fire. Thank you to all the men and women who helped to extinguish this fire. After you pass this side trail on the right, you begin to climb. The climb is steady. In certain places it's fairly steep. We went into 4 low at this time. We had previously disconnected the sway bar, which we almost always do when we're off-road, and we also used our rear locker in a couple of places when it was very rocky. We have 37-inch mud terrain tires and a 3.5-inch lift, Metal Cloak Game Changer suspension, and it is extremely capable. As Fran often says while I'm driving, the suspension is much more capable than the driver. I could not agree more. We almost always go out by ourselves very early in the morning and as often as we can on a weekday. So we seldom see other people in the trail, and we have to be very self-sufficient. We carry a Garmin InReach. We also carry a Starlink Mini, extra food and water, and we have all sorts of recovery gear which we have been trained how to use and which we have had to use on a couple of occasions. Because we are on our own, we also tend to be conservative and careful, because although we can patch a tire and maybe even change a tire, but if we actually break something underneath the Jeep, we can't fix it. We don't have the expertise, knowledge, and we don't carry the necessary equipment. So the last thing we want to do is break down, but if we do, we're prepared to take care of ourselves and call for help. We will link a video at the end of this video where we were rescued by park rangers in the Ocotillo Wells OHV area, which is in Southern California. We had gotten ourselves off trail and lost in a remote area of Ocotillo Wells OHV area, but we were safe and calm, and ultimately the rescue turned into yet another great adventure. Check out the video. As we have become more experienced, we are more comfortable with roll, which is side to side, and we're probably comfortable up to about 20, maybe 25%. After that, we do get a little bit nervous. On this trail, we only got up to maybe low 20s, and as far as pitch is concerned, we're comfortable down or up about 35%. We do have a front camera, which helps if we're going up. And this trail, as you'll see on the descent, we got to about 32%. When you're up at the top of the climb, you have some wonderful 360 mountain views. It's absolutely gorgeous. However, one thing you don't really have to worry about on this trail are drop-offs. There really aren't any drop-offs. There might be a few roll-offs, but if you are afraid of drop-offs or just really uncomfortable with them, I think you would be comfortable on this trail. That's not one of the things this trail has to offer. However, you do have to be comfortable with rocky climbs. You have to be comfortable with deep ruts, because this trail, as you can see, does offer that. And as you can see, you still see on this portion of the trail more and more burned saguaros. Although off-roaders often disagree about many aspects of off-roading, one thing that I found that people do agree is that no camera, no matter where it's placed, no matter how high or low, really can convey accurately the steepness of a climb or a descent. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that either. The descent that's coming up, when we first saw it, it looked a little scary. It's not scary, it's not that difficult, but it doesn't look quite the same in this video as it does when you're standing up there and looking down. And when you're looking down, by the way, you're about to enter, after you complete the descent, Trail Connector 388, which is the third and final segment of this wonderful trail. Complete the descent, you cross a short wash, and then you transition to the final segment of this trail, which is the Connector 388. It's clearly marked and you will not have trouble finding it. This will take you to Bartlett Dam Road, and that's the end of the trail. You will find that this section gets you a little bit tippy here and there. It is also narrow and you have to exercise a bit of caution. Our Rubicon is equipped with select speed control, which is this button here. What this option does is to regulate and modulate the braking and torque of the vehicle ascending or descending. You do have to use the paddle shifters manually to set a speed in increments of 1 kilometer, or basically 0.6 mph. After that, all you do is steer, and the vehicle will decide when to brake and to prevent slippage and to make the descent or ascent smoother and safer. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget that we have a great blooper at the end. If you got value from the video, please like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. We absolutely love this trail, and we think you will too. Be safe out there, have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.